like I said in my Celtics video a couple days ago, it's not generally a great idea to overreact to games 2 games into the season. But everybody loves to talk about the Lakers. I want to talk about the Lakers. This team is special, and they're different more than anything else. That's the number one thing that I will say about the Los Angeles Lakers through 2 games is they are a different team with a different identity. And obviously that was assumed. Hiring a new coach in JJ Redick, things were going to change. But I can't sit here and say I expected them to change this much. This is the best that I've seen the Lakers look in a couple of years, in all honesty, at least to start a season by far. And this looks to be a transformed and completely different team from the Lakers that we have watched these past few years, which isn't to say the Lakers the last couple of years have been terrible. I mean, they made the conference finals 2 years ago, lost in admittedly a very competitive series against Denver in round 1 last year, even though they lost in 5. This is not a Lakers team that's been awful the last couple of years, but it's a Lakers team that certainly dealt with inconsistency over the past few, and this looks like a team that might be more consistently great, which is what you would expect out of a LeBron and Anthony Davis-led team. Impressive come-from-behind win tonight, as I record this video yesterday as y'all watch it, where they were down as many as 22 in the first half, and instead of giving up, packing it in, and letting the game slip away, as would not have been stunning, they fought all the way back and had a pretty dominant second half on both ends of the court. Very, very impressive performance from the Lakers in the second half and the second half of the second quarter to fight their way back into the game and find a way to win an impressive victory against a good Phoenix Suns team. Now, the Suns' depth can be debated. The Suns themselves are going to have certain struggles this season, but this was an impressive win over a good team and a healthy team, and was very, very encouraging to see, I would think, for a Lakers fan. Game 1, obviously, against the Timberwolves was great, but they never really had significant opposition for most of that game. They were in control for the most part all game, and while I wouldn't say they exactly coasted, it wasn't the most stressful, intense situation, whereas tonight on a national stage, which of course is not uncommon to LeBron and AD and the Lakers, but they were able to fight back from a 22-point deficit and come out and win a very impressive game. And this team clearly has undergone 2 shifts. Number one, they play totally differently under JJ Redick. This team seems to have more chemistry and more passion and more intensity than I can really remember seeing with any level of consistency whatsoever under Darvin Ham. So that's first and foremost. Is this coaching change to this point, 2 games in, seems to have transformed this team in terms of their competitive fire and their overall versatility, as well as the pace that they want to play with and the type of shots that they are getting. It is a lot of dribble drive, a lot of penetration into kick out threes, a lot of high quality looks, and a lot of confidence shooting the ball. This looks like a team that shoots with confidence, and I mean, they did shoot 52% from 3 last night. That's not going to happen every single night, but they are shooting with confidence, they are getting good shots, and they are unafraid to shoot them. And then number 2, and I think most importantly, the identity is this Lakers team, they're playing through Anthony Davis at a level that we haven't seen in a long time. And I think Anthony Davis, again, when healthy, that's always been the question with AD, is still one of the top 10 or so basketball players in the world and has the potential to perform at a higher level than that on any given night. Coming out with 35 points on 11 of 18, 13 of 17 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks last night. Really, really performed at a super high level. LeBron seems to be able to do a little bit less right now. I mean, he's letting guys like AD and Reeves step up. We're seeing an aggressive Rui Hachimura through the first 2 games, a dude who's shooting the 3-ball with confidence, attacking the rim with force and physicality. I mean, he posterized Gobert in game 1 and drove baseline on a really impressive play in the fourth quarter to get an emphatic jam against the Suns last night. I've liked what I've seen out of Rui, and obviously Anthony Davis is playing incredible. They said he's the first Lakers player since Kobe to score 30-plus in the first 2 games of the season, and when you're the first Laker since Kobe to do pretty much anything, that's generally a pretty good sign. And the question with this team is going to be health, because if Anthony Davis gets hurt, they're going to be in a much, much bigger spot of trouble very, very quickly. but a healthy Lakers is a very, very dangerous team in the West, because there are very few teams in the NBA period that have the amount of shot creation that this Lakers team has, led by a guy like LeBron, led by a guy like Anthony Davis, who is able to get to his own spots and get his own shot. Austin Reeves has really developed as a playmaker. We saw a lot of it last year, and this year that seems to be 100% showing itself as well, considering he had 8 assists and he was super efficient last night as well. And then off the bench, you know who I've been really impressed by? 2 guys, Jackson Hayes and Dalton Connect. Those 2 guys so far have been really, really impressive. Jackson Hayes is just playing with force, playing with athleticism, not quite dropping as far down guard and pick and roll this year, but allowing his athleticism to take over and let him make plays defensively, running the floor hard on offense and getting rewarded for it a bit as well. While he's not the perfect rim running archetype of big, he's not Derek Lively. You know what I mean? He's not that elite superstar caliber player in a couple years potentially. He's not going to develop into that player. He plays his role well. He plays his role hard, and he has impressed me off the bench. Gabe Vincent, solid at defensive guard. I think he's done some good things as well, and if he can shoot the 3 ball at a high level, that's going to be valuable. Having a guy like Max Christie who can come in and hopefully, again, shoot the ball at a high level and provide a defensive spark is valuable. And then Dalton Connect is just... This is a dude who's not playing a ton of minutes right now, but by the end of the season, I would not be surprised at all to see Connect 4 getting 20, 25, 30 minutes a game, depending on the game, and finding himself in a lot of situations and a lot of opportunities to have the ball in his hands a lot, take a lot of shots, and be a very, very integral part of this offense. Connect in general, specifically, is a guy I want to touch on briefly as well, because side point, but how does he fall to 17? How does that even happen? Like, I'm actually baffled by how NBA teams looked at that guy who was one of the very best players in college basketball last season and plays a very NBA pro style of game where he is just an elite level shooter, has the ability to create off the bounce. They looked at him and were like, oh no, I want to take an 18-year-old project. And half the teams above him did that. When you have a guy who is proving himself to be one of the very best players in all of college basketball, you don't pass on him just because he's older. We're seeing it become a consistent theme over these past few years that there's always these guys that are overlooked and wind up emerging into super valuable pieces. And I truly believe that Dalton Connect is one of those guys who is next up in that same category. He has provided a spark already for the Lakers, and I think is a guy who, with his elite level shot making ability and very capable ability to put the ball on the floor in his own right, has the potential to truly elevate his game to that different level where he can be a impact guy from day one for the Lakers. And again, barring injuries, I don't see a real ceiling for the Lakers team. This is a team that can go out there and compete. You know what I mean? And not going to compete with anybody. This is not a team that I think is going to be relegated to the play-in if they continue to play at this level and can remain healthy. This is a team that is going to give any squad in the West a tough playoff series if they are healthy, because they have just elite veteran experience. I mean, I haven't even talked about LeBron. LeBron is still one of the 10 best players in the world. He is maybe the smartest basketball player on the planet. He is still one of the very best passers in the world. I mean, he threw a couple passes in this game against the Suns that were just phenomenal. And not to mention, last year was the best three-point shooting year of his career. He's probably going to be close to 40% from three again this season. He still has the athleticism and the athletic ability to push the ball in transition, attack downhill, overpower defenders, and still do those bull in the china closet LeBron things that he did when he was younger in spurts. And again, having the emergence of guys like Anthony Davis to another level again this season, and hopefully that remains. Having Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura playing with aggression, playing with confidence, and making good decisions has, at least these first couple games, taken the load off of LeBron. And I mean, again, the dude's 40 years old. He's going to need that to happen throughout the regular season for him to be at his best, because he is getting older and he is going to gas out quicker if the Lakers are not careful about his workload. And so I think it's very, very important that the Lakers are able to, number one, hopefully minimize his minutes, and number two, minimize the amount of responsibility he has in those minutes, so that when they need LeBron to take over and they need Bron to be Bron, he has the ability to do so. And I trust JJ Redick to put the Lakers in a position to succeed. And I am excited to watch this Lakers team because, I mean, LeBron's my second favorite player in the league after Luka. Therefore, the Lakers are my second favorite team. I am obviously a Mavs fan. Will always root for the Mavs. But after the Mavs, I do want to see the Lakers succeed. I think basketball is better when the Lakers are successful, just like it is when the Celtics are successful. And I'm not a Celtics fan, but it's true. When the Lakers and the Celtics succeed, it's good for basketball, and I am excited to watch the Lakers this year because they look like a squad that is ready to compete in the West all year long, and with more consistency and more viability than we've seen in the past few years. So, with that being said, let me know what y'all thought of these Lakers' first couple games. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.